How does the dynamic of power influence the effectiveness of a leader? This question opens up a complex and multi-layered exploration into the role of power in leadership. Power dynamics play a crucial role in shaping how leaders interact with their followers and achieve their goals. In this discussion, we will explore the intricate relationship between power, leadership, and effectiveness, drawing from scholarly insights, case studies, and thought-provoking quotes. Understanding power in leadership. Power in leadership can be viewed through various lenses. French and Raven's framework of power bases is particularly insightful. They identified 5 bases of power: legitimate, reward, coercive, expert, and referent power. These different types of power can influence leadership effectiveness in various ways. Legitimate power. This stems from the official authority a leader holds. It's the power of a manager or a president. However, as Dwight D. Eisenhower noted, leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. Reward power. This is based on the leader's ability to grant rewards. While effective in the short term, its over-reliance can undermine intrinsic motivation. Coercive power. It's the power to punish or control. This form of power, while sometimes necessary, can create a climate of fear and can be detrimental to morale. Expert power. Deriving from a leader's expertise or knowledge, this power is often more respected and can lead to high levels of trust and credibility. Referent power. This is the power of charisma and personality. Leaders with high referent power are often admired and can inspire loyalty and commitment. Martin Luther King Jr. is a prime example, whose charismatic leadership galvanized the civil rights movement. Case studies and real-world examples. Steve Jobs and Apple. Jobs' leadership at Apple exemplifies a blend of expert and referent power. His visionary style and deep understanding of design and technology were central to Apple's success. However, his approach also had elements of coercive power, with a reputation for being exceptionally demanding and exacting. Rosa Parks and the Civil Rights Movement. Rosa Parks demonstrated the power of non-positional leadership. Her refusal to give up her seat wasn't derived from a formal position of power, but it sparked a movement. This shows how referent and expert power can drive change even without formal authority. The United States and legitimate power. In democratic countries like the United States, legitimate power is prominently at play. This power stems from elected positions and legal authority. For instance, the President of the United States holds significant legitimate power derived from the constitutional framework and the democratic election process. This form of power is guided by the notion that authority without wisdom is like a heavy axe without an edge, fitter to bruise than polish, as Anne Bradstreet eloquently put it. The effectiveness of legitimate power in such societies hinges on the wisdom and ethical use of that authority. China and coercive power. Coercive power is often observed in authoritarian regimes. China, under the rule of the Communist Party, can exemplify the use of coercive power. This type of power is based on fear and the threat of punishment. For instance, the government's control over the internet and media and its approach to dissent demonstrate coercive power. While power is necessary for governance, its coercive form can lead to corruption and abuse. Japan and referent power. Japan's cultural emphasis on harmony and respect often leads to the use of referent power, particularly in corporate environments. Japanese business leaders are often admired for their wisdom and humility, creating a form of power based on respect and admiration. This is in line with the Confucian philosophy emphasizing harmony and respect within societal structures. The Japanese case demonstrates that power is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't, as Margaret Thatcher noted, indicating the subtle yet influential nature of referent power. Scandinavian countries and reward power. Scandinavian countries like Sweden and Denmark frequently utilize reward power, especially in social welfare and corporate settings. These societies are known for their high quality of life, strong social support systems, and positive work environments. Employers often use reward power effectively to motivate and retain employees, demonstrating that the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things, in the words of Ronald Reagan. India and expert power. India, with its rapidly growing economy and emphasis on education and technological advancement, showcases expert power. Leaders in India's technology and business sectors often rise through the ranks due to their expertise and knowledge. This type of power aligns with the Indian reverence for knowledge and education, reflected in the societal respect for teachers and educators. It illustrates the idea that knowledge is power, as Francis Bacon famously said. Effective leadership isn't just about having power, it's about knowing how to use it wisely. As Abraham Lincoln said, nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. The effective use of power in leadership involves balancing different types of power. Effective leaders know how to balance formal power with expert and referent power. They use their position to empower others rather than just to command or control. Empowering followers. Empowerment is a crucial aspect of modern leadership. Effective leaders empower their followers, enhancing their autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Ethical use of power. Ethical considerations are paramount in the exercise of power. Leaders must use their power to serve their followers and the organization positively, avoiding misuse or abuse of power. Adapting to context. Different situations may require different uses of power. A crisis might necessitate a more directive approach, while a stable environment might benefit from a participative style. In conclusion, understanding the dynamics of power is essential for leadership effectiveness. It's not just about possessing power, but about how it's wielded. As Lord Acton famously warned, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This admonition underscores the need for leaders to be mindful and ethical in their use of power, striving not just for effectiveness, but for the betterment of their followers and their organizations.
If you're finding this lesson valuable, you can take your expertise to the next level. Join over 27,000 students at the Institute of Professional Psychology and earn your professional certification in this field. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to access the full curriculum, workbooks, and your accredited credential. Let's get back to the lesson.